Hey, historians, welcome back to another great episode of the Historically Haunted Vodcast right here on the Facebook channel, right here on through StreamYard on the network. I have a guest of mine today who's actually on my Historically Haunted show on Paranormal King Radio. We did the audio version, the live radio then. John Huntington. John Huntington, but he goes by Hauntington. John was a former caretaker of the Conjuring House in Rhode Island. You guys have all heard of that. He also did some spirit boxing with the Sleepless Unrest, which was at the Conjuring House. He works a lot with Explorer Josh and just his own thing. He does a lot of spirit boxes sessions and a lot of investigating on his own. He's been in this field a long time, and he's a man of a little introduction, even though I just gave you one. Let's bring him right on. John Huntington. What's up, John? How are you, my friend?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You're one of my friends up here close to me in Maine, and I've always followed what you do even before I knew who you were. That's kind of how I get to know you, following you doing work with the Conjuring House. But you played a priest in that episode. That's one of the first times I saw you, and I legit thought you were a fucking reverend. I'm like, this guy's a reverend priest. Like, and then I followed you with all your work and your spirit boxes and stuff, man. And you've been at this a long time, John, even before Conjuring, huh?
Yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years, maybe closer to 11 now. So yeah, it's been a while.
Betsy says hi, John. Hi, Adam. Hey, Betsy Brown Williams.
Hey, Betsy.
Betsy is a fellow. Well, she's not a member, but she sells merch and hangs out with like the Searchers, Shane Pittman, Josh Purvis, and stuff. She's a good member of the field, good supporter. So thanks for tuning in, Betsy. So I know right now, obviously, you know, you're a father and you're working and, you know, car troubles, the whole nine. But what do you have planned for coming up now that we're almost in this autumn? Do you have anything up your sleeve you can talk about?
Yeah, so I just filmed another episode of Exploring with Josh in Norwich, Connecticut. We got permission to go in there. And there was like 5 buildings we could go to, but we only stayed in one because we were getting so much activity. And then we're also going back to Waverly Hills next month, and there's one other place I'm trying to think. I'm supposed to go to I might be going to Wilson Castle this weekend.
Oh, Vermont, right? Is that Vermont?
Yeah, I got invited by Monique something too soon. She's having an event there, and they offered I could go down and help them out or whatever. And I might do that. I'm not sure yet. It's kind of a drive. You know how it is up here.
Yeah, you got to be dedicated. We get some people saying hi to you here. Kim Moser, I know she's a friend of yours. Oh, hey there, she says. Crystal Hill says hi. Nick Cates from Paranormal 207, Maine 207, says, hey, guys.
Hey, Nick.
All checking in. Lisa Champagne in front of the Conjuring House says, hi, guys. Nice picture, Lisa. So that's cool, man. I mean, obviously, you're keeping busy, and you've got some dynamite places. Of course, Josh is always a home run. And I see you're always doing your spirit boxes. You're making them, you're selling them, you're buying them, you're trading them. You're kind of not critique them, but you kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like you just educate yourself on them, or so to speak, or other people. You give advice. What's one of your current favorite toys, or one of your go-tos?
Well, I do build the spirit boxes, and I was selling them, but I don't really sell them that much. Maybe once in a while, if a friend asks me or whatever. It's really kind of time consuming. But my most recent one I built was this one here. It's a coffin. I made it out of a 12-inch coffin box. It has 2 lights and speakers in the front and the back, and it has FM, AM, 7 shortwave stations, has reverb. It's super loud, like has built-in amp.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
That's fucking killer.
I dropped it like the other day, and I was like, oh no, but it still works.
Tough little son of a bitch, huh?
Yeah, it fell out of my backpack, and I was like, oh shit.
What do you name that thing? What do you got a name for that bad boy?
I don't know. I don't really have a name for it, but
oh no shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Herman Munster's coffin.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
For a spare box, but I mean, there's so much to it. I'll open it up just to show you guys, like, you can see it. I know it's kind of dim in here, but these are all the shit.
That beauty, guys.
Wow. Like, it's crazy. Like, there we go. Look at all the wiring. It's craziness.
I love that. Yeah, someone says very cool. You do an awesome job, John. Lisa Champagne says. Champagne. No, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Very cool. Betsy says. Nathaniel Elwell checks in. What's up, guys? John, hope all is well. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that design. I want to be. You guys go ahead and ask questions too, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I see them. But I'm going to ask John a couple personal things because I talked to John, but not a super lot. A little bit off Facebook. I watched your YouTube videos. You went to a place kind of near and dear to my heart now that I'm up this way, your way, kind of. Mount Hope Cemetery, America's second oldest garden cemetery, where Pet Cemetery was filmed. And you guys walked around like Hannibal Hamlin's graves, a couple different graves, and you had some live sessions, man. Something pretty much said that we're not all dead here. And then you said, what was that? And the guy said, oh, you weren't supposed to hear that right after. Back to you or something. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, like he was surprised that I could hear what he was saying.
Yeah.
I went there not expecting to get anything at all, you know, cemetery.
Really?
Kind of quiet. And I was there with my mom for just like, it wasn't long. It was like maybe an hour, maybe. And most of it was just walking around.
I was going to say, you like, this cemetery is huge. I walked around in a quarter of it.
Yeah, it goes on forever. So
oh shit. Yeah, it does.
I was kind of drawn to the older headstones and I got the most activity right there. Like they were even setting REM pods off, and it was just it was weird. I was kind of blown away by it, really.
Check out Hauntington on YouTube, guys. His channel. It's Hauntington, right? HAUNTING.
Yeah. If you look up John Huntington, you'll see it says Hauntington on the John Huntington.
It's like a little caricature of you, I think, like a little cartoon guy or something. And if I remember right, the picture. But check out some videos. They're all pretty good. He's got a bunch you can go through. But the one in Mount Hope Cemetery in Maine, he couldn't really walk 2 feet without getting something going off and banging at you, which is pretty crazy. Betsy, great question. She's got a question for you, John. So what got you interested in building and rebuilding, dealing with spirit boxes, I guess?
I always wanted, since I started doing this, I always wanted to build a spirit box. I always wanted to do it. And I was always told, you know, it's hard, you're not going to be able to do it, you know. And then finally, I'm just like, you know what? I'm living in Maine. I have nothing. I didn't have a job at the time, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to do this, like no matter what it takes. And I sat down and I try to get information from people to help me, but it's really hard. Like nobody wants to tell you their secrets. But my friend Austin, he had been doing stuff with Steve Holte, and he showed me some things, and he showed me enough. He just showed me enough to do my own thing, and that's basically what he did. He didn't really show me everything. That's kind of what he does. Like he'll show people a certain way, you build off it yourself. So,
but you must have some sort of interest in like wiring and all that fucking. I mean, you must love the, because people just, I can't fucking do it, but
yeah, I couldn't. When I first started, I couldn't even solder or anything. Like I remember the first box I built, I'm like soldered it completely the wrong way, and the wires
trial and error.
So I taught myself how to solder the correct way, and I watched some YouTube videos and learned from them, and then from Austin, and then Simon Cox, who was pretty big in building spare boxes. He showed me a couple things here and there, but like I said, nobody really wants to tell you their secrets, but
yeah,
they'll give you a little bit of information here and there, and then eventually I just put it together, and it's definitely, from when I started till now, it's definitely 100% better than the first boxes.
I bet. Oh my God, it must be fucking night and day compared to we've come so far. I mean,
yeah, the first ones I did weren't the best, but a lot of people still love the first ones I did. They still use them, so I don't know.
Man, you're self-taught, so to speak. I mean, you may have picked up here and there, and some shit may be common, I guess, sense or whatever. But for the most part, man, you're self-taught, which is cool. Eddie Pence says, "Hey, everybody." Betsy says, "Thank you for answering that." By the way, very informative. She does got one more question for you, though, or at least another. She says, "Hey, John, what got you interested in the paranormal field as a whole?" Good question again, Betsy. Good question.
I grew up in a haunted house when I was younger. Pretty much, it was pretty terrifying. We actually moved out. We moved out of the house because of the paranormal activity.
Wow.
But it kind of followed me around throughout the years, and I just kind of ignored it. And then when I moved in that house, like I talked to you before, the apartment in Auburn where the girl had been put in the oven and burnt to death.
Oh boy, that's a whole episode for itself.
The stuff I was getting from there just kind of pushed me into it even more, and that led me to figuring out, like, I wanted to show people what I was getting. I was so excited to just show them the weird shit I was getting, and I had to figure out how to put stuff on YouTube and all that. And then I put a few videos up, and then a group from Graves Paranormal, which was the group Corey was on, they contacted me and wanted to meet me and ghost hunt with them. And
they're based out of like Rumford, Mexico, Livermore.
Rumford, right? Yeah, I kind of forgot the name for some reason. Been there a million times, but
I got to stop you real quick, actually, and go back. We're not going to dive all into it, but for those of you that don't know, back when I was young, I grew up in New Auburn, Maine. It's small little between Auburn and Lewis, and it's called New Auburn, but it's Auburn. And there's an apartment building there. It's like, I don't know, 3 floors, 4 floors. And on the second floor, some dude either on LSD or whatever in the 70s put his girlfriend's daughter, who was like 2 or 3, in this oven while he cooked her alive because he said that she was the devil, or the devil made him do it because she was a demon. And he put her in an oven while she was still alive and literally burned her to fucking live. And they never tore the apartment building down. He got switched names in jail, from what I heard. He got lit cigarettes thrown on him and shit. I don't even know if he's alive still, but he's a piece of shit. But John lived in the same apartment, I believe literally same apartment where this happened, which, I mean, it sounds morbid, but a lot of ghost hunters and paranormal people, that's kind of our dream. Because if anything, John wanted to try to find and figure out and help this girl. And I know it sounds morbid, and don't give John shit because John's got daughter, John's got kids, but that was the real deal. And there's something there still, huh, John?
Yeah, there definitely was. Like, the first time I even tried doing EVPs, there was all kinds of spirits there. Like, it was crazy. I would just get EVPs after EVPs, and she would come through the box and say, "Hi, it's Angela." That was Angela Palmer was the name. And I'd bring her like toys home from the YMCA. And if anybody's watching from YMCA, don't arrest me because I stole a couple toys from there. But I brought her like a Minnie Mouse, and she was like, you could hear her like Minnie Mouse. Like, she was so excited that I bought that.
Whoa, fucking good.
I remember asking her at Christmas time, I was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And she's like, "A brand new bike." Like, perfectly
old school.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
do you think she's followed you? Because you said earlier that you feel like you've had something follow you your whole life, even. Do you think?
Yeah, I've had some weird experiences of things following me. Like at Fort Knox, I used to go up there and do spirit box with the group all the time up there.
Yeah.
And we kept getting this little boy coming through the box, and he's actually coming through Echo Box too, which doesn't even have little boy's voice in there, built in the program. And he was asking for his mom and everything. And then come to find out, like the next day or so, we found out that a boy and his grandfather had drowned out there in that behind there, that big river by the bridge there. They died right there. And he followed me.
Right, it goes right to the ocean. Holy shit!
Yeah, wow. The ocean, yeah. He followed me to a couple different places. I got his same voice, same name, everything, and like 3 or 4 different locations, coming through asking for his mom. It was really weird. But yeah, stuff does follow you.
Well, I was saying, we got people lighting up. Your friend Kim here says, not wrong for you to do all that stuff, but she thinks that you definitely get something attached to you.
Yeah, they call me the attachment whore. That's what Kim calls.
Oh, that's funny. My girl Heather checks in. She says, "Hello, all love the future ghost shirt, John." Oh, my girl Heather.
Like
thanks for watching. That's cool. Good eyes. She's got good eyes. Nathaniel Elwell comes across as Facebook user, but he says, "John, what is your take on the equipment that you see on mainstream shows such as the SLS, which he's seen map random stuff?" What about like REM pods, which are known to be set off by walkie-talkies? A lot to
So
digest right there.
yeah, he's right. Like, I mean, a lot of stuff sends off little
Thanks,
like
Nate.
REM pods go off, and SLS camera now. I mean, it'll map out a person on a lot of things like chairs and doors and all that. I've had a few experiences where I was just like, that was pretty crazy, and I knew it wasn't a door or anything. Like one time I was at, my friend had lived in I can't remember the name of it, but it used to be an asylum, Danvers Asylum. She lived in the apartments there.
Danvers, Massachusetts, yeah.
And we had a Frank's box running, and we had the SLS, and it was just in our apartment, nothing coming through the SLS, and then all of a sudden, this thing appears by the spare box, and you hear on the spare box, "Hi, Jen," and it's going like this.
No,
and then it goes away completely.
No shit.
So
all right.
I mean, yeah, it does get a lot of false positives, but I believe they can work. Like I've seen them work, you know. So, but they're right. A lot of shit will set them off. Phones, walkies.
Yeah, it's good to have in your arsenal. I mean, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right? But it's good to have something like that, like you said, where you can match that up, and that's kind of fucking unique. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, I know you're an old school dude, but yeah, that makes sense. Brian Bohall, I had him on last week, Small Town Adventures out in California, and he does a ghost town type stuff. He says, "Hey man, had to work late, just want to check into the show and spread some love. Cheers, guys. Thanks for checking in, Brian." Another good question. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to keep up here. Nick Cates from 207 Paranormal here in Maine. John, what is the most shocking moment that you've had investigating so far? Good question, Nick. Thank you.
God, I don't even know. There's been so many. I'm just trying to think. Like,
you were at the Conjuring House for like 3 weeks before they even opened. Weren't you by yourself before Corey and then even went down there when they first bought it, right?
Well, they first bought it. I didn't come down I wasn't there for a while, but.
Weren't you by yourself though for like a month or something because they had to do? I remember you were alone, right?
Yeah, I was. So during the COVID, they couldn't come down. They were stuck up here, so I was there alone for a month.
That's right.
Yeah, and one of the craziest things there was that door slam that happened to me. And that girl, it was actually a girl's voice saying hello out loud that I caught. That kind of scared me, especially being alone. And then there's one time I heard, I was there by myself and I was just filming and setting up trigger objects, doing my thing. And all of a sudden I hear running across the top of the top stairs. Yeah. And I was like, so I was like, you know, maybe it's a rat or something. I don't know. So I'm like, hey, if there's anybody up there, can you knock on the floor twice? And you hear it, boom, boom, twice. And I'm just like, oh man, do I really, like, I just sat there, like, do I really want to go look to see what the hell is up there?
That ain't no fucking rat. Unless it's Splinter or something, but that ain't no fucking normal rat. Wow. The house is old. The house is old. I get it. It creaks. But that's fucking footprints you heard. I mean, you could tell foot stomps, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing that stands out in my mind that kind of freaked me out was, so whenever you hear a disembodied voice like that, just is like, holy, like I had a disembodied voice that actually screamed my name out at the GRCC and everybody heard it. That sticks out in my mind. And also the one that really kind of freaked me out, I was sitting in Vassalboro at the middle agent's house and my cousin was with me and I hear a little girl, and I think we caught it on a voice recorder. A little girl was like, "You're a demon," like right in my ear. And I'm like, and my cousin looks over at me, and I look over at her, and I'm like, "Did you hear that?" She's like, "Yeah, I could hear it." And then we heard something in the hall, and she was like, "Is anybody out there?" And the little boy is like, "Hello," like, I was like,
wow.
Just like those two things right in a row just freaked me out, and I'm just like, wow, like I don't really get scared, but that just kind of shook me hearing that out loud, you know.
Wow. It sounds like they're definitely not afraid to talk to you, John. They're definitely not afraid to let you know what's up. They're here.
Right.
But also, you're very respectful. You're very modest. You don't get hyper much. I notice you very much keep, even if you get scared, you're not your typical, or you're fucking, okay. Right. You keep your balance. I think they respect that. Brady Goebel says, what's up? He's checking in from Chasing Paranormal. Hey, Brady. Yeah, they get some more questions. I'm sorry, guys. I'm slacking. We get Cindy. Hi, Cindy from Paranormal Caught on Camera. Thanks for posting.
Hey, Cindy.
Cindy Pongratz. Wow. We got a heavy hitter, guys. Paranormal Caught on Camera. I'm going to set all my cameras up just so I can be on your show, Cindy. I'm going to catch fucking something. Nate says he's not trying to grill you about that question about the SLS. He's just curious because he does his YouTube channel where he does apps on your phone and he rates them and he documents them. So he's kind of does the spirit box thing. But Nate's a good dude. No, he's all cool, Nate. We have someone else. Hello, John and Adam. Colleen Watts, a new watcher. Colleen. Hey, Colleen. Thank you for tuning in. Very cool.
Colleen's another spare box addict.
Oh, so someone you know. Very cool. Thank you for joining us, Colleen. Sorry for the questions. I'm in the zone today. No, that's fine, Nate. What is this? I have a personal theory on this, but what does John think a shadow person is, a human spirit or something else entirely? That's a fucking deep one. Get your thinking hat on.
So I haven't seen many shadow figures. I've seen, like a few like down the hallway, whatever. People always see that, but it could be anything. But one shadow figure that I saw at the Conjuring house, I was actually just watching. I was by myself watching fucking Netflix, and I look up in the doorway, and it is like a black mass just in the doorway, just looked like smoke. And I look at it, and it's kind of grayish, and I just kind of look away, and I'm like, just please go away. And it went away. But as far as what they are, I don't know. Like, there's so many theories out there to what they are. It could be anything, I have no idea.
Where do you? I want to ask you something right off the cuff here that has to kind of do with that. Something's gonna fucking blow your gourd. Where do you stand on time travelers and shit? You think something like that could be just a quick time travel flash? No one's really brought that up, but I think about that. I think about time travel a lot. I watched The Man from 3033 on Hulu or Netflix or something. Very bizarre. And he's a time traveler, and it just really started opening my mind about a month ago to this shit. What do you stand on that shit as far as paranormal time travel?
Well, it's weird because I've always, when I was like as far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be able to time travel.
Yeah.
I remember like when Back to the Future came out and all that. I was always gung ho and trying to, wow, how can we figure it out? How can we travel through time? It kind of seems that way sometimes. Like when you get spirits through the spare box, I've actually had them say they were from the future through the box.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was with a psychic, and she was doing spare box, and it was amazing. Like, she was getting great stuff, and they said they were from the future, which is weird. Like, why would they be talking through a radio in the future? But I think sometimes time kind of intertwines, and sometimes we'll cross paths with whatever's in the future or the past, as far as paranormal. And I think sometimes they're just living whatever they did in the past, and somehow you connected with them through time and they appear. But this is what I think. I don't know.
I agree. I think time is of the now, man. Like, time for us is now, but once you're dead or if you're in the other world, man, time's irrelevant, or it's a whole nother ball game. I think something we can't even fathom. That's an interesting topic. Someone says they're at the, I don't know who it is, Facebook user says, hey, I'm checking in. I'm at the circus with my family. Love your show, brother. I don't know who you are, Facebook user, but that's awesome, man. Go throw some peanuts and some fucking elephants for me. I don't know if they allow them still or not, but Cindy says, oh, wow, on that. She says that her and Colleen Watts are in the same group. Paranormal Caught on Camera. Very cool. So we're talking to John Huntington. Huntington is what he goes by. It's a tongue twister. You've seen him on different shows. He's been around The Conjuring, and he's been around Sleepless Unrest, Josh the Explorer, who I've been watching for about fucking 8 years now, and even just his own shit. And here in Maine, he's kind of like a little folklore legend. A lot of the local boys and girls there look up to John on the paranormal team. John's very modest and quiet, but he gets a lot of love. He does. There's a lot of people that respect him, and they need to fucking speak up and show more and share more, because this man needs to be known. Because you got great material, dude. You know your shit. You know where you go. You know how to use his stuff. And for a guy that works his ass off and everything else, you always find the time to put this field right up there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So kudos, man, because I know a lot of people have caught on to your shit, and whether they like to admit it or not, fuck them. But Nick Kate says, what are your feelings of portals, John? Do you feel TV shows give them a negative connotation? I went to Lisbon, so I'm not good at spelling. Where they might not necessarily be evil, he says. So, thoughts on portals, John? Huntington.
Portals. So, for some reason I've never believed in portals. Really, like I don't know. I know when you go into a haunted location, like you go to the Conjuring house, it'll be like, oh, this room has a portal in it. Like, okay, like how do you know there's a portal there? Just because one person said there was one in there, like, you know, what evidence do you have a portal? I mean, there's more active areas in houses, but are they portals? Are they coming in and out through that portal? Like, how can you tell? There's no way to tell. Like, no one's ever like proved there's actually a portal back and forth.
No. I
mean, that's my thought on it, and I don't think like anything I've ever gotten like I've gotten tons of EVPs. I just think I think they can be anywhere they want, some spirits. I just think, and they can be at many places at once.
Well, you've heard this a lot at the Conjuring house. Everybody thinks the Conjuring house is a big link or portal. Everybody says, oh, it's a portal. It's a portal. You know, it's a gateway or whatever the fuck. It's a gateway. It's like, well, like you say, man, it all depends on the land. Not really, right? I mean, I don't think there's fucking wormholes going in Amityville house like everybody claimed that there was, right? I mean,
right. I mean, I wonder who come up with the word portal, the first person.
It's so fucking weird. Same guy came up with the word time travel. Let's see. Great question. She says, Cindy says, John, I'd love to have you add your videos or pics to a group. Oh, awesome. Hey, Cindy, I do too. I'm going to steal some of John's thunder. I got a YouTube channel too, Administering Ghost Hunter. I go to movie sites, murder victim sites. You should know. John follows me a little bit, John. Come on, John. Build me up a little bit. I go to some cool places. Me and John got to collaborate here one of these days and go to
we're like neighbors
Island or Smutty Nose Island or something to look for some murder shit.
Yeah, I'm down. I don't live far from it at all now, so.
I know there's not all out here, John, but dude, I went to Graveyard Shift's Stephen King Graveyard Shift there in Harmony. The Barnstable Mill, 1880, was the first sheep wool barn in American history, and it's still there, and you can buy shit from it. And the graveyard scene and shit, the big rat, that's all right there from Stephen King. I know it's fake, but it's still cool. And of course, Bangor's got Hannibal Hamlin and Al Brady that got shot there. The gangster shot in the streets. So we'll have to go check out Bangor when it cools down, you and I, and make a fucking day of it.
Yeah, I love that. It'd be awesome.
Go to the fair. I'll get you a little hot dog or something. I'll win you a stuffed animal. I like to kid around a lot. I fucking, let's see. Okay. Kind of a personal question. I'll let John. Lisa says, John, would you ever go back to the Conjuring house to stay? He did go back with the Sleepless in Rest, but I'll let you answer that, John.
I don't know. I'd like to. I don't know what the new owner is all about. Or I know a lot of groups have messaged me and asked me to go there and ghost hunt with them and pay for it or whatever. But I just don't know. Like, it's just like I've had a lot of negative things happen to me there that I don't know if I want to go back. A lot of good things happen, but a lot of negative stuff that I kind of want to stay away from too. So,
well, see, I think John's like me too. If you guys look, I love Lizzie Borden. I had some of my best evidence ever at Lizzie Borden's. I've only been there once. I'm not in a hurry to go back. I've actually gone back a couple times on the outside, but there's literally thousands of places that are haunted or historic that you can fucking go to instead of going to the same fish and chip fucking place every time. And that's one thing John does. You're not going to do his YouTube video, 800 YouTube videos from the Conjuring house, right? You mix it up. You went to that town hall in Mexico. You went to Maine. You went, you go to the cemeteries. You go to all these places. There's so many places to explore. I want to get to the place before anybody else does. And that's what I usually do. People go, holy fuck, I didn't know that existed. I go, exactly. Remember who showed you that? And that's one thing John does. And even, Josh the Explorer, you guys go to places that are offbeat, not so much known. And sure, the Conjuring house is great, Lizzie Borden house. I'm not knocking that shit, Penhurst Asylum. But it's cool to go to places that are different, right? Like, what's that one with the Bobby Mackey's with the pit in hell in the basement? You ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there like 3 times. I went there with Josh and exploring with Josh and Cinematic Seth.
Oh, is that in Ohio, right? or what the
It's
fuck
in
is
oh my god,
Pennsylvania?
Kentucky,
Oh
Kentucky,
shit,
right?
Kentucky.
Wilder, Kentucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bobby Mackey's a name like that. It's gotta be Southern. I've never been, but that's one of my biggest bucket lists. You feel anything in the basement? The portal to hell? The portal. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go in the portal. It's they don't let you investigate there that long. Like we weren't like 1 o'clock's like when you have to leave or something.
Jesus, really? When you
Yeah,
show up
like
at 10 or 9?
it's weird. It's and then they give you this really long tour forever in a day, so it's like
Wow.
you really get like 3 or 4 hours to investigate. But we did have some weird stuff happen. There was one part where it felt like the whole room just shook down there by the well, like this huge bang, and like it felt like the whole place shook. Like I thought like it was like the train because there's a train right behind there. I thought maybe a train was going by or something exploded. Like it was that crazy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it was paranormal or what it was, but it jumped the hell out of all of us. But Carl, I had the best luck I've had is in Carl's apartment, the one where
Carl Johnson?
Carl, the guy that lived above Bobby Mackey's, the guy, he was possessed by the devil, supposedly. Wow. They did an exorcism on him.
Jesus.
That apartment is, the spare box was crazy. Like, he said he was Carl, and he said stuff about demons, and it was just pretty wild. Plus, we had some like random cue ball just like come out of nowhere and fall on the floor. Like we don't know if it just fell off a shelf or where, but it fell like right in the middle of it. So
yeah, someone says the caretaker was possessed. That's the caretaker John's talking about. Yes, holy shit. Yeah,
Carl
that's
the caretaker.
Some wild shit. Let's see. Yes, the sleepless unrest. I knew where John was from. So you knew your name from somewhere. Some person. It says Facebook user, so I'm not sure if they didn't want to use their name or why. Sometimes it just doesn't come up. Heather says portal, late middle English from old French, Latin for like a gate, from Latin from door. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. This is a good one. It's actually an Atlas Obscura find. I want to get out there. I don't know if you've been out there. Heather asked John, have you come across the 1963 B-52 crash right over here by Katahdin? And did you ever go in there? If you did, how'd you feel? I haven't gone out yet, but
I've always wanted to go there, and I knew Josh had gone there. Like he came up last summer, and we went out to eat, and he went out to the B-52 site, and then he went to the train station out in the woods, the abandoned trains.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
the locomotives out there, big iron ones. Yes.
And since I saw him go there, I wanted to go there. I drove up there one day, and it was like gate was closed for mud season. I was like, damn it. So this last time I went, and it just felt like sad. Like when you walk up there, they just feel kind of sad, kind of like, it was just parts are everywhere. It's crazy. If you haven't gone there, there's signs like everywhere that tell you how to get there. But when you take the road off, it's like almost like an ATV trail for 7 miles. And it literally broke the front and rear of my exhaust.
Wow. For those of you that don't know, this B-52 airplane during World War II time, I guess, crashed in the Maine woods and killed everybody involved. And yeah, it took up like a mile crash, and it's still there. The fucking wheels are there, and people go snowmobiling by it. You see a lot of snowmobile because it's like John said, it's a fucking 8 mile on the walk. Then you got these locomotives out in the middle of the woods by Moosehead. I think that's like the same thing, isn't that? An 10 mile walk. You got the fucking locomotives.
It's forever. He had to take like ATVs and everything to get to it. So
I tell you, people go, "There's not much in Maine but Fort Knox," and I go, "Well, you don't even been to fucking Maine then, because there's a lot of shit." And that's not even touching on Haynesville Road, a tombstone every mile. They made a song, Dick Careless, about all the tombstones, everybody that died in the old trucking road in Haynesville Junction. They say there's Bigfoots out there, all that shit. Some people are talking. Let's see, 100% love history. I love to seek lesser known places. Exactly, Crystal. Someone that's on our side there. Gina Juan says, "Hey, John and everyone." Thank you so much, Gina, for joining us. Let's see. The cue ball sounds like Moon River Brewery. What? The cue ball?
That must have happened. Same thing must have happened there.
Huh. I wonder if it's called me cue ball because I shave my head. I don't fucking know. I don't care. Call me names. I don't care this shit. Well, you and me could hook up then because, and I want to meet Josh anyway, but I think you and me could do some good shit between fucking. I'm down with the clown for pretty much anything and fucking. Because there's cool shit to see up here. Where do you stand on aliens, John? Where do you stand on like monsters and shit? Are you just paranormal, like ghosties, or do you believe in all that shit, monsters and UFOs, aliens?
I've always believed in aliens. Like even when I was a kid, like we used to just lay out back and look at the stars, and we always see weird shit out there. You know, up here in Maine, there's all kinds of stories of UFOs, and especially in the Allagash.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I definitely believe in it. I mean, the universe is too big unless you think the Earth's flat and this, you know, you can't get out of the Earth. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I've always been fascinated by aliens, UFOs, and always looked for them. And, I never had any crazy experiences, but
nothing.
No, nothing too crazy.
No, that's cool though. No, that's cool. Nate, I've heard of cue balls randomly appearing. Oh no shit, I didn't know that. Huh, no shit. I never heard that. But yeah, the Lost Train's pretty wild. I know Josh went to like the Alien House, which is in Maine. But there's some cool shit. You really don't have to go far. I mean, we really don't as far as all that shit. There's even some cool movie sites, different shit like that. So what do you got on your bucket list, man? Is there anything that you haven't really gone to that you'd like to, like out in Texas, Florida? You've been to Gettysburg, Transylvania?
I have been to Gettysburg. I'd love to go to Transylvania for sure. There's just so many places. I want to go out west and like Arizona. There's just so many ghost towns and haunted places. I'd love to go out there.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a while. That's where Josh is right now, actually.
That's cool. That's where that Brian Bullhall guy does Small Town Adventures. He goes to like where Billy the Kid used to hang out, and they try to examine that. And that's a whole different trip to New England because we get the whole colonies and the Revolutionary and the witches, and I love all that shit. And you go to Midwest, and it's kind of Midwest doesn't get a super lot. They get some things. There's a couple Bonnie and Clyde things and different shit. But then you go out west, and that's where the fucking the 49ers were and the gold diggers. So that's cool. You like that shit, the old towns, and that's pretty wild to me. I think do you think that equipment would work good out there? Because a lot of those old school souls, you think they'd even understand what the fuck that is? Or do you think it works?
True. That would be interesting to see.
But it would work easier, I think, because there's not a lot of interference. You're in this ghost town. There's no fucking towers, right? So to me, you'd at least get something. Even if they go, what in tarnation's that? Or something, you'd fucking get that, right? You know? I mean, I think that'd be cool. Yeah, so you're talking out west. You dig serial killers and shit like that? You dig looking for theirs, like Charles Manson out west?
I don't know. For some reason, I know most people are into that serial killer thing. I don't know why. I never could get into it. My ex-girlfriend, she's totally into it, has a podcast about it, and I like watching the documentaries and stuff, but it's not something I really want to pursue. I don't know what it is.
It's kind of looking for demons in a way. I mean, I find it intriguing, but I definitely don't want to find them. I tend to go to the murder victims' graves and shit like that.
Yeah.
Allenstown 4, New Hampshire. Let's see. Nick Case says he would love to investigate St. Augustine Lighthouse. He hears so much about that place. Have you ever been to a lighthouse or that one in particular?
No, I'd love to, though. Yeah, that's definitely on the bucket list right there, yeah.
Especially Maine, you're like 97. I've been to them, but not inside.
Yeah, you can never go inside. Like they don't let you in most of the time.
One day a year, there's like Lighthouse Day. I think it's like September something, and you gotta fucking be in line like Disney World. And I'd love to go in Portland Head Lake because George Washington commissioned it. There was a shipwreck there. But then there's that Wood Island Light. You know about that one in Biddeford where the guy killed the sheriff then himself on that island out there in Biddeford Pool by OB. That's a wild little fucking shack I'd love to get to. But then you're stuck on the island, God forbid. Cindy Pongratz. Hope I said that right. If I slayed it, I'm sorry. John, what is your worst or scariest experience at the Conjuring House? We kind of touched on that, but if you want to talk about that again or a different one.
I never really had a bad experience. I never had anything like bad happen to me there. It was mostly peaceful most of the time. I mean, it was a peaceful place. Nothing would really happen unless I was looking for it usually. Like they always
Provoked it?
Yeah, if they wanted to come out and play, if I wanted them to come out and play, they would. Most of the time, they leave me alone. It's kind of built like a relationship kind of thing with them. And actually, after um, if I when they were filming Sleepless Unrest, I left for a little while, came back, and they said that they were actually asking for me on EVPs and stuff, calling me out by
They
name.
missed you.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like a weird relationship I had with them. The only bad part about the house is that it had a weird haunt to it. Like it would bring you down. It would make you really depressed, and it would put you against other people that you normally love or whatever. It would push you against them, and it happened to a lot of people that stayed there. It wasn't just me.
Did it come and go, do you think? Did it come at certain times and all of a sudden it felt like it was lifted, or was it nonstop depression or anger?
Most of the time is when there would be other teams there, other people. It was almost
Ah.
like get out of my house kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
Almost like I don't like being used as a circus prop. I'm not a fucking sideshow act. Like
yeah, yeah. And it was kind of like they were wondering why I was letting this happen, and that's when I would get down.
wow.
And yeah, it was a weird feeling.
People got to remember that spirits were once humans. And if you were like a nice spirit or malicious spirit, you're going to carry that on. You can be a malicious spirit and not be a demon. And you can be a spirit and not be a boogie. Like John said, John lived with these people like it was people, like that show Ghost. I love that show. You get all these different attitudes in the house, and it's just they kind of coexist. And it kind of is like, as long as you're not always going to have a demon. Like John says, he fucking lived in that house for a month and he survived. He's got all his fingers and toes, right, John?
Yeah, I lived there almost a year. So
wow.
And like I said, the only thing it did was mess with your mind a little bit.
And they still ask about you. I guarantee your name comes up. People go, "Who's John?" And other hunts that don't know you, maybe other investigators that go in there that fucking know it all. They go, John who? Not knowing it's you. That'd be funny. I've loved that. Gina and Juan, thank you for joining us. Cute little puppy there. She says, John, you should try to go to the Haunted Hill House in Mineral Wells, Texas sometime. I'd love to see what comes through for you. So you get some fans. You get some people that believe in you, that point you in the right direction. That sounds like a crazy place. I've never been to Texas. I know Mineral Springs is known for like flying pterodactyl sightings and shit as far as monsters go. But Haunted Hill House, you ever heard of that, John?
I have, yeah. I've seen a lot of posts about
Very
it.
Cool.
I'd love to go there. Like there's so much cool evidence that I've seen from there. So yeah, I'd love to go there.
Lucky for you, John's running a special right now. If you do all expenses paid trip for him, he'll go anywhere the fuck you want him to go. So lucky for you, if you want to dish out some money, he'll go anywhere to you. Just kidding. Maybe he won't. I don't know. I would. He can send me the money. I'll fucking go. Jay Hill
with me too.
Jay Hill from Studio 6 Paranormal, Wisconsin Paranormal. What's up, my brothers? What's up, Jay?
What's up, Jay?
You've been quiet lately, and you got a lot going on. Good to see you, my brother. Heather, John must have his TV and phone and electrics fucked with a lot. Yeah. I mean,
I remember once I have a video like I lost my remote control. Couldn't find it anywhere. I know that happens to a lot of people, but I literally tore my house apart. And then I get my spare box out, and I'm like, "Where's my remote?" And I'm like, "If it's in my bed, can you say? If it's under my bed, you say bed." It was like bed. And I'm like, so I tore my bed apart, everything. Then still didn't find it, and they were just like telling me different areas, and I'm like, But it was weird how they were actually trying to tell me where it was. Though I thought that was kind of odd.
That's wicked. Yeah, that's wicked fun. Yeah, we got about 20 minutes left. It's a little early to plug, but let's go ahead and do that. Where can people find your material, my brother? Where can they find you on all the formats? Go ahead and list them off for me.
You can find me. I was on Fright Club the other night too. If you guys want to see that, it's kind of funny.
Ooh.
But I'm on. Just look at my name, John Huntington, on YouTube.
Fright Club with Ozzy's kid Jack and the Ghost Brothers and shit. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna check that. Sorry to cut you off. That's killer. I had no idea. He's very modest too. So go ahead, John. You gotta look that up. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It was like they filmed it last summer, and it just finally came out. But
wow,
it's kind of funny seeing me on there. But
that's cool.
So yeah, just John Huntington on YouTube, Hauntington on Facebook. You can also look at Exploring with Josh under the Beyond the Dark series, and I think I'm on like 18 of his videos on there or something like that. So check those out. That group's awesome. Like, I'm also on Central Maine Ghost Hunters here in Maine. I do stuff with them. I told them I would shout them out tonight.
Please do.
They shared it. So
John Gillis on that team. John Gillis, right?
Gillis? Yep. John Giles, yeah.
Yep.
From John cool. Gilles. I don't know how to say it.
Gilles, yeah.
He's a good friend of mine, though. He's a super nice guy.
Very cool. I know he's always doing shit with like the Bowden Witch. The girl in Bowden there, I think her name was Lizzie. She gets trees around her. I used to go that since high school. Trees around her grave, and a star appears on the stump, and there's a rock, and she was killed as a witch. Oh yeah, he does some good work because I've been into that shit for the folklore stuff for a long time. So, and you're on TikTok, you're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, of course, Facebook.
Yeah, TikTok I don't do as much. I probably should, but I don't really post much on there. But I have
John,
a TikTok
you're everywhere.
too.
Awesome. Jason, you're everywhere, John.
Also, there's another documentary. My God, the Haunting of Harrisville. I'm on that one, and that one's gonna be a little coming out. It's gonna be about as big as Sleepless Unrest one.
Ooh,
I like it way better. I think it's a better documentary. No offense to Sleepless Unrest.
Wow,
but it's a really good documentary. Yeah.
It almost sounds more legit because it really isn't. I mean, it's the Conjuring house, but not really. It's the Harrisville farmhouse. It's the house on Round Top Road. That's just from the fucking movie. That wasn't called that until 2000, whatever the fuck. It's the house on Round Top Road or the Harrisville, Rhode Island farmhouse, right? Because it's been there since like 1760 or 40. Very old farmhouse. They think there's revolutionary soldiers buried up front. You know the stories, I can imagine. I mean, I know Zach has all been there and all of them when you were there, but
yeah, it was completed in 1736, but they started building it in 1680. Like, part of the house is that old. Like, the part of the house where I heard a girl say hello is from 1680. So.
Don't tell me there's not spirits there for 300-something years. Then you get the natives before then. So you think about that. Then you have all these revolutionary soldiers that possibly died from native attacks, smallpox. Then you got World War I, World War II, all that shit. That house is, hey guys, says Juliet Juizno. Hello, Juliet. Neil Gibbons, 1680, he says, wow, yeah, that's 12 years before the witch trials. I base a lot on the witch trials. That's my bar of like, I mean, Plymouth Rock, obviously 1620, but Jay Hill with a great question for John Huntington, a.k.a. Hauntington. John, do you prefer to do documentaries other than regular filming, paranormal filming? I can't speak.
I'd say so. I've done like filming and where there's like directors telling you what to do, and if you didn't say it right, they make you say it again until they like it. And I don't like that at all. I like to go in with Josh and Seth. That's my favorite thing to do. They have a couple cameras. They go in. They do the tour of the history, and then bam, like start off with the evidence. Like, that's just the way I love that way of investigating.
That's raw, so to speak. I mean, obviously you might edit a little bit, but you're not reading a fucking script. You're not, make sure your hair, John, makeup, like fuck that shit. And I get it. It's good money and you want to be seen, but yeah, no, I get it, man. That's cool. That means you're true, dude. That's nothing wrong with that. That feels like it must be miserable, Heather said. Yeah. I mean, you kind of get the fame and fortune in your eyes and you feel like you're doing it for the right reasons. I've never done it, but I can imagine. But like John says, when you start doing this other shit where you can just be yourself and do it, that's cool. That's real cool. Right.
I don't even have to bring a camera when I go with these guys. Like, they just do all the filming. So
Josh, yeah. I remember one of the first videos turned me on is that cavern in Europe with like 35, 36 cars. And they all took a little raft to it. And I was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. So I did it too, but not to that extent. But I go, well, this fucking cat does it. Then you start seeing Grim Life Collective and Adam the Woo and all these people that travel, that go to these sites and explore. And I go, fuck, I can do that shit. Maine's got a graveyard every 10 feet. If you really look, I'm sorry, but it's true. Maine's got to be 300,000 fucking graveyards. And I don't know, all of them have the white lady or the gray lady or the white steeple or the black statue, but all of them have. I went to this one over here in Orville because you live where I live out in East Bumfuck, by Bangor. Orville Plantation, there's a dude that says bomb squad, killed on the bomb squad, 1958, and he's buried. This thing, this dude was killed in bomb squad action. Like, they don't tell me that he's not fucking, there's not, you know what I mean? And it's right there, a little rinky-dink cemetery. So I got to go back at night. I'll have to bring you maybe even. So
yeah,
everything's worth exploring. Yeah, that's what I love about you, man. You don't say no to much. You're like me. You're like a historian, paranormal horror. It's like, what's up?
Yeah, let's go.
You love your road trips.
I don't care if my car falls apart.
Oh, I know. Me and John were talking. We're both sharing our car woes. So, like I said, we're not out there selling shit. But if you guys want to donate to me and John's exploration travels, we'll definitely have some good material. So feel free to PayPal me after the show, and I'll split it with John. I have no shame. Seriously, hook us up. What's one of your faves, dude? Besides the Conjuring House, what's one of your favorites? Like, is it just like a one thing, like a house, or is it like Salem as a whole? Like, what's one of your things where you're like, I gotta go every year?
If I could go somewhere every year, I'd probably go to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Is that in Pennsylvania?
Oh, that's in West Virginia, I believe.
West Virginia. I went to St. Albans. St. Albans Asylum in West Virginia, sanatorium. That was fucked. But West Virginia's got some shit, dude. That's killer.
Me too. I love West Virginia. It's amazing. I'd go back there. I can't imagine living there.
You know what's funny? I got to do it just because you said it real quick. I went to the original Gwar bar, the band Gwar. It's in Richmond, West Virginia. With Otis Urungus, you scum of the universe. And I went to his grave in Hollywood Cemetery, Richmond, Virginia. That's where W.W. Poole, the Richmond vampire, is buried, Hollywood Cemetery. There's 2 presidents there. There's 50,000 Confederate soldiers underneath this big triangle spear. It looks like a fucking pyramid. And Otis Urungus is buried there. And we went and Petersburg, Virginia. There's Pocahontas' Basin. And then you just go Roanoke, Virginia. Then, of course, West Virginia's got the Mothman, huh? I mean, Virginia and West Virginia is pretty wild shit. So that'd be it. I've never been to the asylum, but I heard that's wicked, huh, dude? It takes you 2 days to really explore.
Oh, it's massive. Like,
really?
Yeah, like we had so much crap happen to us, like within the first 2 hours in the lobotomy area. It was just I can't even explain the feeling there. Like, it's just wild. Like, I had a girl like answer me out loud, like disembodied voice. I was like, because I felt the cold air coming around swirling, and we're like, "Is that you? Is that who we're feeling?" And you hear a girl go, "Mm-hmm."
Oh.
And I'm just like, "Holy shit. That place is just it's nonstop." Like
I don't see you running, man. I see you smiling and laughing and walking closer. You know the fucking dude to piss your little panties and run off like these weekend warriors and go find your Slim Jim back in your Pinto. You're gonna go forward and record. Am I right?
Yeah, just like, I'm just like, wow. Like, I don't get shook. Like, I'm just like, wow, that's amazing to hear your voice.
It's a gift. It's a gift. Absolutely, John. Fucking A, dude. Because I've seen your videos, dude. And when you hear these, and I know I'm not trying to cut you off. I have ADD, so I talk really quick and a lot. So I'm sorry. But I watch your videos, dude. And you're very much like, you're like that little kid where they go, hey, there's more cake. And you're like, ooh, another voice. Ooh, another voice.
Yeah, like when I'm with Josh and them, they're all freaking out. And I'm just in the back, like, laughing because
Josh flips his gill a lot, dude. Josh does flip his gill a lot, dude. I noticed that. He's like, yo, whoa, that's nuts. Whoa, yo.
He's not acting. Like, he gets scared sometimes. Like Waverly Hills, he came up, and when he heard that an EVP that scared him so bad, he dropped his, like, DR-60 on the floor, and he's telling me, we got to go. We got to leave. And I'm like, no, Josh, just calm down.
He wanted to fucking end it. Yeah. Oh, you gotta introduce me to him. I won't steal your thunder. I won't steal him from you. I just want to meet him once and tell him I appreciate him and maybe do one fucking video. That'd be great. Lilac, what's up, Lilac? What's up, girl? Checking in. West Virginia sure does rule. She says, yeah. Let's see. Someone says, great vodcast and great to hear John's experiences. Nick Cates.
Thanks, man.
From 207. Good people. Maine's got great people. Nick Gibbons, have you ever been to the Sally House?
No, I haven't. No. I'd love to. Come pick me and Adam up. We'll go down there.
Dude, all I need is at least like 2 to 3 joints per day, which I can buy on my own. I got my med card. And other than that, dude, just give me some bologna and cheese, and I'm fucking styling. I can go the rest of the day. Maybe a couple aspirin. Jay Hill says Gettysburg. I love Gettysburg. You been to Gettysburg?
Yeah, I love Gettysburg. Like, I didn't get to spend too much time there. Like, when I was with Live Paranormal, we did a thing there. And they still actually, the lady that ran Live Paranormal actually works there now, I think.
Live, like Live, Live Paranormal?
Yeah.
It's called Live. I never heard of it. Okay, Live.
Yeah, they're pretty big. They got like 60. When I was with them, they had like 60,000 followers at the time. But
guys.
Yeah, Gettysburg's awesome. Like, everybody's so friendly down there, and there's so much to do. And it's amazing. I remember I went down there with my friend Joe, and I was with Tap's family that I think, for a while, and I had a Tap shirt on, and everybody thought I was with the Taps group. So, so they were taking pictures with me, and like, and Joe's just like, "Wow, you're really taking advantage of that shirt." And I'm like, "Yeah, you got to get one."
Fucking A, I'd rather go with you than Taps, motherfucker. And I'm not just saying that. I did have Dustin Perry on. Dustin Perry is a great dude. He's a motivational speaker and all that stuff, and he's great.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, but you, dude, you fucking, yeah, man, you've been to some cool shit. You've done some cool shit, and you're one of the most modest guys in the field. And you don't post any. You're never like, oh fuck my life, and oh fuck her. You're very drama free on Facebook. You're very much just about spirit boxes and a couple things here and there, and your kids and your job, and that's it, man. And I fucking dig that. People are saying good evening. Hello, Megan. Good evening. We're got a couple minutes left, but this will be uploaded on my YouTube channel, Historically Haunted. That's where all the archives go. The hard copy will be tomorrow, and that'll be shared on many formats. So thank you guys for tuning in. What happened to my moonshine pickle slices? I got a couple left. They have moonshine peaches I might go for next, but it's like gasoline, boy. So I'm down to some local Maine beer, Rocky Harbor Stone.
I love moonshine pickles. They're so good.
It is pretty good, though, man. It's fucking woo. I got a little bit left because moonshine don't go bad, so I save them. But I got some 500 milligram THC peanut butter I put on toast. And have that in the moonshine, and I'm fucking done, son. But yeah, man. Shit, this hour flew by. We can go a little bit over if you don't mind. It says we get 3 minutes, but we did kind of start a little late, so we can go like 5 over. I want to touch on anything that you think we haven't touched on yet. What do you think that it's important that we should talk about that we haven't? Curious.
Well, if anybody have any questions? I mean,
yeah, I'm going to throw some fun shit out there. John, what's your go-to for fucking hype music? You got some evidence you got to go through, or maybe you're headed to a paranormal thing or back and you want to kind of just ride the high. What do you throw in there? Some fucking heavy shit, some rap, some country? What do you got?
I have a pretty good heavy list. If I want to wake up a little bit before the ghost hunt. But you know, it just reminded me of something that's kind of funny. So when I travel with Josh and them, Josh listens to like he listens to gaming music the whole time.
Like, Skrillex type shit, like just beats with no lyrics or something.
No, like it's like game scenes, like the background music. That's what he listens to.
Like fucking like Mega Man and shit, and like fucking.
I don't know what it is. It's listening
Oh my fucking god! I had to rip out my own pubic hair. I think.
Right.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. I can put up with a lot of shit, but that new wave Asian fucking, I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. You seem like you'd be like an old school, maybe not as hard as maybe Pantera. I'd say you're a Pantera type guy. Metallica. You seem like you could throw down with some, old school fucking.
I love all that shit. Lately, I've been on like this '80s kick, just like '80s music. I don't know what it is, but
I was just gonna say Poison or Motley Crue. Old Crew is killer. I've been listening to a lot of Ramones, like Pet Sematary. Of course, we just went.
Yeah, I love that song.
With the Sleepy Hollow where they filmed that. They filmed that in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, New York. That video, but they came to Boston. They came to Bangor to play. And Stephen King invited him to his house in Bangor in like 1987, 88. And he told Joey and them, he said, I want you guys to write my song for a new movie. They went to his basement, came up and wrote it, and they gave it to him, and the rest is history. And they performed the video at Sleepy Hollow Cemetery where the Headless Horseman is. So that's fucking neat. Yeah, I wish I would have done it in Bangor, but
yeah, definitely.
Any spots in Wisconsin, John, in his neck of the woods, Jay Hill's neck of the woods? He's asking.
Nah, I'd love to go out in that area though. The furthest like I've gone out is like Ohio, and that area is like the furthest I've gone.
Iowa's for me, boy oh boy. Iowa, Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, fucking cornfields,
and forever
trucks, and
my
fucking
phone
silos,
like 2 days going through that.
And those big windmills, and I'm like, fucking A. I'm from and billboards. Once you get out of Maine, dude, this fucking Maine is the only state that doesn't have billboards. New Hampshire, Massachusetts, even New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut is fucking Whopper. Hey, have a Whopper today. Get a large fry because you've never heard of that. So come get a McDonald's French fry. I go, fucking, I love Maine, dude. I don't give a damn about Maine. Fuck them. Huh?
I've been investigating out in Iowa and Indiana and all those areas, and it's funny because you see all these cornfields for miles, and all of a sudden you see a random person walking, and you're like, where the hell did they come from? Like, where did they come from? Where's their house?
Me and Chris Sanders were on the way out to Iowa. Children of the Corn. It goes, what now? Children of the Corn, one of them. But you go, and it's like, it's literally, there's no shortage of corn ever. Corn, literally, no wonder why they use it for gas, because they have so much of it. I've never seen so much of one crop in my life. And I live in Maine, where there's fucking blueberries, potatoes. No. Yeah. Indiana, Iowa, corn. Holy fucking shit. Talk about a boring fucking ride. But, oh, that's funny.
Oh, my God, it's so boring.
Oh, my God, it's funny.
I've been through it.
Oh, yeah. Day or night don't fucking matter. Well, at night, it's worse because they're all 3 long trucks fucking. Heather says you never have to explain why you're an 80s kick. It's everything. That's funny. John, do you dig sports at all? I don't really see you posting. Are you like a Red Sox Patriot fan or not really? Bruins or nothing?
I've been a Patriots fan since I was like probably 8. My stepdad used to work at the stadium.
Oh.
I never even got to go to the stadium, though. But he never brought my ass.
What a dink.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But he did work. He worked there. He used to, back in the day, John Hanna.
What's up, Ken? John Hanna, old school, yeah.
I remember him, he killed a deer or something, and he sold the meat to John Hanna.
Wow.
It was weird, yeah. Andre Tippett, he knew him.
Andre Tippett, that's old school. John Hamm was a big boy. Moses Tatupo there, the tight end.
Oh, yeah, Moses Tatupo.
From Real Hunting Connection says, have a good night. Enjoyed the show. It was a radio show, too. Father Kenneth Torres from the Warren Legacy. He does a show on Paranormal King Radio Network, To the Darkness, Into the Dark. And let's see. Jay Hill says he lived a few miles from town where they filmed The Children of the Corn. Fucking Malachi. What an evil little bastard. All right, we're going a little bit over, but I wanted people to get to know the John, the real man. Let's talk about food, dude. Manja. What's your go-to? Do you have like a pinnacle lasagna? I know you know, do you have a certain type of meal where it's ritual to have, or something you just like to go do?
Like on ghost hunts? Or?
Yeah, or just, ghost hunts, or long drives.
I try to stay away from like Taco Bell on ghost hunts, but
yeah, you don't want to fart and shit the whole time. I hate that. No, I don't blame you. I actually try to eat light too, because I hate that feeling of just anything. And I don't want my stomach to think, okay, you eat enough to where you don't feel sick, but you don't want to. No, I agree. What about movies, man? You a Marvel guy? You into horror movies, comedies, or all of it?
It depends on my mood, really, man. Sometimes I watch the Hallmark Channel, watch some romantic movies and cry,
Hey, man, I like Steel Magnolias. When Julia Roberts dies, yeah.
Like old Christmas movies and shit,
It's just a smart, I always like that's funny. Because it's true. And I honestly do, like, I'm the type of dude where I can watch a Christmas Carol thing in Christmas time. When in Rome, I'll watch a fucking Monsters, Inc. Yeah, I'm the same way. I like all that stuff. So, yeah, man.
I like end of the world kind of movies, too.
Oh, yes.
Like anything to do with, like, surviving and, stuff like that. I'll like Google, like, what new movies are coming out.
I recommend the movie Prey. Prey, the new Predator movie, where he goes against a Native American colony because he's gone back in time and he's trying to find the fittest people, and he finds an old like an African tribe, and he takes on a grizzly bear and a snake, and he ends up taking on the tribe. I don't want to give too much away, but it's called Prey, Prey. It's fairly new. The new Predator movie. I watched it last week. It's fucking amazing. I think it's on Netflix. I think it's a free trial, maybe on Tubi. I'm gonna buy it. It's that fucking good. If you like Predator,
yeah,
because these people are cool. They're all the red painted people, and they get sticks and whoa, 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 whoa. And he shows up, and they don't fucking have a clue. And he tries to find the toughest one, who happens to be a chick, and fucking, it's pretty wild, dude. I'm not gonna give it away. It's fucking. Of course, at the beginning, he's taking on this grizzly bear, and you see him fight this grizzly bear, and it's fucking wow. It's wild. It's wild.
Like zombie shit, stuff like that too.
Yes. Night of the Living Dead, man, the classic.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
that's cool. All right, so before we go, I'm going to ask you. Let's see, what do you plan on doing between now and the end of the year? What can people expect of you? And Hauntington, HAUNT, like haunting, TON. His last name is Huntington. He's Hauntington. So what can people expect that you can give away as far as like travel locations or anything great like that?
I'll be doing a lot more with exploring with Josh. I'm kind of working on a book about my experience of living at the house. You know, kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff. Stuff normal people don't really know about. Nothing bad about any teams or anything crazy like that. But it's just gonna be my experience at the house, what it was like. As far as shows, I don't really have much. Just filling with Josh. He's trying to get us more and more places. I do have a regular job now, so I can't really. I couldn't go to like Arizona for 14 days like they are, but
yeah.
Stuff like
but
that.
You guys know, like I know, shit can happen. Someone could sign him, someone could see him, someone could sponsor, and a month from now he could be fucking going, I'm off. I mean, so shit happens. So follow him, send him a friend request. If you're decent, he might accept it. If not, you'll find Hauntington on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, kind of all over the place. He collaborates with a lot of people. A lot of you probably already know him anyway. So, shit, man, that was fun. It went by too fast. I'll have to get you on again. Season 2 starts. Halloween is the end for my radio show and podcast, and Season 2 will start November 1st. So you guys can find that. Follow me on YouTube, guys. Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter. I just went to Bucksport and looked at Buck's tomb. I'm going to load that tonight or tomorrow. And he had I'm sure John knows about that. He founded Bucksport, Colonel Buck, Jonathan Buck, and a witch he had killed, supposedly got her pregnant when he was married. He had her killed. She said she'd dance on a stone, and there's a black foot that appears like a leg on a stone. So I did a small video for that. That'll be up soon. I know John must know because John talked about right across the river. There's fucking Fort Knox. You can see Fort Knox from Colonel Buck, literally.
Yeah.
And John's got some good experiences there. So follow Hauntington, John. He's got some good shit. You got to check out his YouTube because if you guys can't find it, message me and I'll point you in the right direction because I saved that video of him in Mount Hope in Bangor. The spirit's like, oh shit, he heard us. We're not alive. We're still alive. Oh, he heard us. Fucking. Oh.
I think the next episode I'm in with Josh is September 10th. I think it'll be
okay.
From Norwich. So
after Labor Day, then not far.
Wait till you see the crazy shit I got there. Like I bought a bunch of equipment from a friend of mine as getting out of the business, like super cheap. So I tried this little Sangean spare box, and literally I asked them in there, I said, anybody need any help? Say help. They said, I mean, it must have been like 30 times. Help me, help us, help. This kept coming through the box, and they were like, holy hell. And then you even hear a voice say Sangean, the name of the spare box.
Whoa.
And then it was just answering everything. It was just crazy. And then we had this spare named Bruce following us around, and you would say his name and all the shit start lighting up, and you would feel him come in the room, and then you actually hear him like crunching on the floor and standing next to Seth, and Seth's just like, he looks down at like what is standing next to me, and then you hear the REM pod goes off right when he looks down, and we're just like, Wait till you see this video, dude.
It's Seth's kind of a skeptic, it seems like to me. From the videos, Seth's kind of just like, I'm here to film and whatever. I don't think, but that he felt that, didn't he, John?
Yeah, it's weird. He gets shit happen to him all the time, though. Like Trans Allegheny, you actually hear on the camera some whisper in his ear, and he jumps, and he's just like, holy shit, like right in his ear, and you can hear it counted on camera too, and he's just like these guys are legit. Like, and I know a lot of YouTubers out there just all show, but these guys are like hardcore. Like they don't go in like some YouTubers for 3 hours and film and make a bunch of shit up. These guys go in all night and they go hardcore.
I love that they have Josh is always he's got the pre-story as he's coming up to it, he's letting you know why it's there, when it's there, whatever he knows, he lets you know. It's just going, oh, look what we found, guys, and blah blah blah, and it's on his face the whole time. He shows you the shit. And John's got the knowledge. He listens to John because he don't know the paranormal like John does. John's kind of the captain of the paranormal team. He's more the explorer. Is that fair? You know?
Yeah, kind of like he had Joe Rainoni and myself. He kind of took us on to pretty much show him how we do it. Joe's kind of similar in the way he investigates like me. He does really good spirit box stuff. And when we're together, it's just that whole team's just like magical. You got the energy of Josh, you got Seth. It's all different ages too. You got like 22, Josh is 28, 29, I'm 45, and Joe's 56 or something. So it's all different ages, and somehow that all works together. Yeah. Because you figure in any location there's going to be all these different ages, and we connect with whatever.
Someone's going to identify with someone, right? But you don't have 15 people to where you go, oh, is that Tommy? You have just enough where you keep it. That's smart. Under 10 is the way to go. You can't have too much.
No, I think we usually have 4.
See,
maybe 5, but that's it.
Perfect.
And no cameraman, nobody contaminating anything.
I love that.
Awesome.
Smart.
So anything you've seen, I haven't watched Josh's videos lately, but I mean, the videos that we were in, they're 100% legit. Like everything.
Check him out, guys. He's all over YouTube. He's got these videos saved underneath his thing, and he's got links to Josh. He's got videos share which will bring you to Josh's page. Of course, Josh has got shit on his own from overseas and different shit, but it's all good fun. You can follow fucking everybody. Follow me, subscribe to me. There's so much out there we can bring you to show you. So yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. I appreciate you coming on, John.
Yeah, I can talk for hours about it.
I know we've gone to an hour 12 here. But hey, man, I'll get you on the radio show for next season, which is audio only, and then I'll bring you back on this. So that'll be like, I'll give you a bit of downtime, but about a month and a half or so. I'll get you back in like November or something if you could. I'd love to get you back on, find out what you're up to. And in the meantime, we'll shoot the shit. We'll collaborate in the meantime and fucking let the world follow us.
All right.
Awesome. So for Historically Haunted Vodcast, episode 30, John Huntington. Check him out. Follow him. He's got shit galore. The Conjuring House is a fucking step nothing compared to what he's done. And I mean that with no disrespect, but that's such a small part of who he is. So from Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter, Adam Began, John Huntington. Oh, Alex, you're tuning in. We're just taking off. Sorry, Al. But I'll have the hard copy up tomorrow. You can watch this in like 2 minutes. But thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be on every other week because I just don't really have the energy to do a radio show and podcast every week. So I'll have a guest in 2 weeks. And a little secret, I wasn't going to say anything, but Halloween week, the last week of Halloween, I got Jeff Mudgett, H.H. Holmes' great-great-grandson, America's first serial killer. I know John's not a big serial killer guy, but that's a big bucket list of mine, so I'll be talking to him about killings and shit. But hey, man, John, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always fun talking to you. And yeah, we definitely have to collab and do some shit so we're not so bored up here in the boonies.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'm looking for a co-host. I'll have to hit you up and see if you want to be my co-host and bring on some dude who will grill him or chick or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
So thank you guys for watching Historians. Thank you, John. And check us out next time. Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter, John Huntington. And we are out. Have a great weekend, everybody.